I don't really know why I'm at uni. I know I came here to study something I'm passionate about, but am I really? I love what I do, but I don't understand why we do it. I don't think I get art. The one thing I do get at uni is a social construct, or at least I think I do. I remember the first day of freshers. I was here 5 hours before anyone started to make contact, and that's when I realised I was finally a student, and I mean really a student. It was socially unacceptable to make human contact before 8 p.m. We were now a new breed of vampire, our drink of choice being anything alcoholic. No vodka bottle would be left unturned. And so around 11 the carnage began. We drank and we drank and we drank. Though there were some who were not accustomed to the new life as being of the night, we soon found things that would help us through, like the thought of a nice cheesy garlic at the end of the night. Though Freshers was a while ago, we can still see the same abnormal behaviours demonstrated day in and day out. To help those who may have not witnessed the behaviours of the exquisite community that is the Discipula sapiens, I have gathered a few examples of their way of life. A diet including anything other than cheese and alcohol is unnecessary and ridiculous. Contact with others of the same species is forbidden before sundown, especially when cohabiting. And lastly, the Discipula sapiens arch nemesis are what are known as bouncers, a savage and unique specimen. While many have gained resilience to what used to be harmful to them, there are those who still struggle. If too much of their diet is consumed, at some point a strange liquid is released from the oral orifice. Generally this event takes place in the middle of what they call the sesh, but occasionally can be prolonged to the morning after. Copulation between the species is frequent yet frowned upon, as generally the act can lead to one participating member to be excluded from the tribe, usually the lesser favourite of the group, and is therefore done preferably in secret. This is why the more knowledgeable and experienced ones will use dating apps such as Tinder to search for a more suitable mate, who is unlikely to ever be contacted after the act of mating is concluded, unless under special circumstances. The introduction of said mate to peers should be carefully considered and is only acceptable when intoxicated, as this is the only time in which a Discipula sapien is able to make rational decisions. From this information we can definitely conclude that their peak performance in academic studies is at half-past midnight after 2 or 3 bottles of Desperados. However, as many may partake in morning lectures, some may opt to disguise their habits in the form of cider in a coffee cup or whiskey in a flask, my personal favourite being vodka in a water bottle. Though there are those who still cling to what remains of the human selves, there are those who are fully submerged with the ways of the student. We refrain from leaving our small and humble residencies, with only a lure of snaps to coax us from our pits of despair. The mention of a morning lecture igniting a feeling deep down in our guts that can only be described as fear and loathing and disgust. The thought of home bringing a tear to our eye, a reminder of how life used to be, a much simpler time. Were we happier as normal civilians, or have we found a new leash of life living as teen rebels well into our early 20s? Will we ever be able to return to our normal selves, or is the thought of waking up before 2 p.m. wishful thinking? I fear that while our bodies may have morphed into our new supernatural shells, our minds will never be able to forget our human lives, making the transition between existences tragic and painful. As I continue to live as the Discipula sapien, I am sure to discover more of our unnatural and bizarre behaviour. Though I worry, for if I exist as one for too long, I dread that I myself will become almost a wisp of nothingness, feeding from the defenceless cans of macaroni cheese and vodka bottles.